In her 15 years of styling hair, Shirley Allen thought she had seen it all, but that Tuesday morning proved her wrong when a young girl shuffled into her salon, head lowered beneath a threadbare hoodie. Shirley's practiced smile faltered. Beneath the worn fabric, the child's hair told a silent, haunting story, knotted and matted from months, maybe years of neglect. The tangled mass seemed to engulf her small frame. As Shirley gently worked through the tangles and softly asked the reason behind it, the truth that emerged shattered her heart. The tangled mass wasn't just uncombed hair, it was a shield, a living testament to loss and survival. Every knotted strand clung to a story, a secret that would soon unravel and alter both their lives forever. At only 20 years old, Shirley Allen was already making waves in the world of hairdressing, turning heads with her skill, heart, and quiet determination. Her fingers moved like magic, scissors gliding, style flowing, turning everyday hair into stunning works of art. It was this talent that made Shirley the rising star of Capri's salon. While others played it safe, she thrived on the edge of innovation, crafting bold, fearless looks for clients willing to embrace her creative vision. But behind the daring cuts and flawless technique was something more, a deeper purpose that guided every snip and stroke. Shirley lived for that moment, the instant a client caught their reflection and their eyes lit up with surprise and joy. That spark of transformation, that sudden surge of renewed confidence, filled her with a warmth nothing else could match. In her still young career, she thought she'd seen it all, from vibrant, fantasy-colored mohawks to delicately crafted wedding updos, but nothing had prepared her for what walked through her doors that Tuesday morning. Updos. Then came the day that would challenge everything she knew about her craft and herself. It started with a shadow at the window between clients. Shirley noticed a teenage girl watching the salon, her face pressed against the glass. The girl looked about 16, drowning in oversized clothes that hung from her thin frame. What caught Shirley's eye wasn't the worn fabric or the dirt-smudged skin, but the mass of matted hair cascading down the girl's back, a tangled testimony to years of neglect. When the girl finally gathered the courage to step inside, time seemed to freeze. Their eyes met in the mirror. Shirley's warm smile reflected back against the girl's haunted gaze. For a heartbeat, they connected then like a startled deer. The girl bolted. Something in that fleeting moment tugged at Shirley's heart without thinking. She rushed to the door, calling out to the retreating figure, "Wait, please. It's okay." The girl stopped mid-stride, her shoulders tensed as she slowly turned back. Shirley saw something shift in her expression, a tiny flicker of hope breaking through the fear. With trembling steps, the mysterious client began making her way back to the salon, unknowingly about to change both their lives forever. "Come in," Shirley called softly, gesturing to the quiet corner of the salon where magazines fanned across a table and a cold milkshake waited. "Take your time, no rush." For an hour, the girl perched silently in the waiting area, shoulders curved inward like protective wings, while Shirley finished with her scheduled clients. As the last customer left their cheerful goodbye echoing in the emptying salon, the girl finally slipped into Shirley's chair in the mirror's unforgiving reflection. She flinched at her own image. Shirley's trained eye took in the full extent of the damaged months of neglect, had transformed what must have once been beautiful hair into an impenetrable fortress of knots. But there was something more here than mere tangles, a story written in each matted strand. "Why don't you tell me what you're hoping for?" Shirley asked gently, her fingers hovering near, but not touching the mass of hair. "Just cut it all off," the girl whispered, eyes downcast. "It's ruined." "Anyway, let's start slow," Shirley suggested, reaching for her gentlest detangling lotion. "We have options before we resort to anything drastic." As Shirley's fingers worked methodically through the hair, applying product with tender care. Something in the girl began to soften. Words started spilling out, hesitant at first, then rushing like a dam breaking. Her mother had died 3 months ago. The words hung in the air like shattered glass. While Shirley's hands stilled for just a moment, the girl described how grief had swallowed her whole, how something as simple as lifting a brush had become an impossible task. Each morning brought a fresh wave of emptiness until even looking in the mirror became an act of courage. She couldn't muster school. Pictures are next week, she finished quietly. I couldn't go looking like this, Mom would have. She didn't finish, but she didn't need to. Shirley was already reaching for her phone, canceling her appointments for the rest of the day. And tomorrow, some things were more important than a packed schedule with tears tracking silently down her cheeks. She squeezed the girl's shoulder. We're going to fix this. She promised, meaning so much more than just the hair together. One strand at a time. After all, Shirley knew that sometimes the most important transformations happen not in the cutting or styling, but in the simple act of caring enough to try. Hour after hour, Shirley worked with quiet determination. This wasn't about creating the latest trend or magazine-worthy style. It was about restoration, about giving a grieving girl back a piece of herself. Her fingers moved with practiced patience, treating each rescued strand like a victory against loss. The transformation took days, each session a slow, careful unraveling of hair and of something deeper. As Shirley worked, their conversations flowed with ease, filling the salon with quiet confidences and the soft echo of shared memories. Though the girl's eyes still carried the weight of sorrow, something began to shift, a subtle change, like the first light of dawn breaking through heavy storm clouds. Then came the moment of revelation, quiet but powerful, as if the girl was finally ready to face the world, not just with a new look, but with the first flicker of healing in her heart. Shirley spoke softly as she turned the chair toward the mirror. The girl's eyes widened, her hand rising slowly to touch her newly restored hair, as if she couldn't quite believe it was real. And then, it happened. A smile, small but genuine, bloomed across her face, like the first rays of sunlight after a long storm. Shirley felt her own eyes sting with emotion at the sight. When the girl reached for her wallet, Shirley gently caught her hand and shook her head with a quiet smile. "This chair is always open for you," Shirley said, her voice gentle and sincere. "Whether you need a trim or just someone to talk to, I'm here." The girl didn't respond with words. Instead, she threw her arms around Shirley in a fierce, desperate hug, clinging to her like a lifeline against a sea of sorrow. In that embrace, something unspoken passed between them, an understanding that sometimes healing doesn't start with grand gestures, but with a single act of kindness, with someone willing to look past the tangles and truly see the person underneath. And in that quiet moment, they both knew. The most profound transformations don't always happen in the mirror. Sometimes they begin in the heart, where a stranger's compassion becomes the first light back to hope. I'm really keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos.